Namaste, Gita ji.
Namaskar, Ashokji.
So here we are in the middle of the Eternal Flame of Inspiration series, where we read Swami Vivekananda's literature and share some of our thoughts. But more important, it is relating, connecting, absorbing, experiencing the words of Swami Vivekananda. And with these words comes the insight and sense of clarity of learning about ourselves. With that long sentence, now your turn to say something.
I'm just relearning the fact how to go step by step towards dhyan, towards meditation, towards connecting to myself. And it's a great tool. I would recommend it to everyone to try it at least, like Vivekananda says.
So
So,
first chapter was introductory, and the second chapter it says the first steps. So as you
yes.
said, please continue. Open it up.
Raj Yoga is divided into 8 steps. The first is yama, non killing, truthfulness, non stealing, continence, and non receiving of any gifts. Next is niyam, cleanliness, contentment, mortification, study, and self surrender to God. Then comes asana or posture, pranayam or controlling the vital forces of the body, pratyahara or making the mind introspective, dharana or concentration, dhyana or meditation, and samadhi or superconsciousness. The yam and niyam, as we see, are moral trainings. Without these as the basis, no practice of yoga will succeed. As these practices become established, the yogi will begin to realize the fruits of his practice. Without these, it'll never bear fruits. The yogi must not think of injuring anybody through and thought, word, or deed. And this applies not only to man, but to all animals. Mercy shall not be for men alone, but shall go beyond and embrace the whole world. So beautiful.
And many times when we talk about yoga and the external form in the form of asanas is considered to be um, yoga. But here in Raj Yoga, here he talks about the 8 steps and the yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So without others, only asana is just one part of that
Yeah.
which is yoga. So, and I'll continue.
Sure.
The next step is asana, posture. A series of exercises, physical and mental, is to be gone through every day until certain higher states are reached. Therefore, it is quite necessary that we should find a posture in which we can remain long. That posture which is easiest for each one is the posture to use. For one man, it may be very easy to think in a certain posture, but this may be very difficult for another. We will find later on that in the study of these psychological matters, there'll be a good deal of action going on in the body. Nerve
Hmm.
currents will have to be displaced and given a new channel. New sorts of vibrations will begin. The whole constitution will be remodeled, as it were. But the main part of this action will lie along the spinal column,
Hmm.
so that the one thing necessary for the posture is to hold the spinal column free, sitting erect, holding the three parts chest, neck, and head in a straight line.
Wow.
Let the whole weight of the body be supported by the ribs, and then you have an easy, natural posture. With the spine straight, you will actually see that you cannot think very high thoughts with the chest in. This portion of the yoga is a little similar to the Hatha Yoga, which deals entirely with the physical body. The aim of the latter is to make the physical body very strong. We have nothing to do with that here because the practices are very difficult and cannot be learned in a day, and after all, do not lead to any spiritual growth. Many of these practices you will find in Del Sarte and other teachers, such as placing the body in different postures. But the object in these is physical, not psychological.
Very true.
There is not one muscle in the body over which a man cannot establish a perfect control. The heart can be made to stop or go on at his bidding. And in the same way, each part of the organism can be made to work at his bidding.
Oh,
Wow.
so beautiful.
We don't think like that.
No, this is amazing. This is amazing. And yes, the having to center yourself to have that spinal to in the physical form. Even in music, we say that, not to sit or slouch while singing. स्वर नहीं निकलेगा, आपको सीधा रहना है. So all these are like so interconnected, I feel.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm sure I'll be reading a little bit about the chakras a little later just to have that mental thing going on. So,
Since you mentioned about music, so I'm kind of reminded of the fact that Swami Vivekananda was a very good singer also.
yes, I was very amazed to, matlab, what all qualities, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
very intrigued by that. Yeah.
Please continue.
The result of this part of yoga is to make men live long. Health is the chief idea, the one goal of a Hatha yogi. He is determined not to fall sick, and he never does. He lives long. 100 years is nothing to him. He's quite young and fresh when he's 150, without one hair turned gray. Oh my God, Ashokji, we need that. But that is all. A banyan tree lives sometimes 5,000 years, but it is a banyan tree and nothing more. So if a man lives long, he is only a healthy animal. One or two ordinary lessons of Hatha yogis are very useful. For instance, some of you will find it a good thing for headaches to drink cold water through the nose as soon as you get up. The whole day, your brain will be nice and cool, and you will never catch cold. It is very easy to do so. Put your nose into the water and make a pump action in the throat.
So he's very clearly telling us as to what practices are going to help on the physical level and making body strong, but that may not have any spiritual benefit.
Yeah,
So I'll continue.
absolutely.
After one has learned to have a firm, erect seat, he has to perform according to certain schools of practice called the purifying of the nerves. This part has been rejected by some as not belonging to Raj Yoga, but as so great an authority as the commentator Shankaracharya advises it, I think it fit that it should be mentioned. And I'll quote his own directions from his commentary to the Shvetashvatar Upanishad.
Hmm.
The mind whose dross has been cleared away by pranayam becomes fixed in Brahma.
Wow.
Therefore, pranayam is pointed out. First, the nerves are to be purified. Then comes the power to practice pranayam. Stopping the right nostril with a thumb, with the left nostril fill in the air, according to one's capacity, then without any interval, throw the air out through the right nostril, closing the left one. Again, inhaling through the right nostril, eject through the left. According to capacity, practicing this 3 or 5 times at 4 intervals of the day before dawn, during midday, in the evening, and at midnight. In a 15 days or a month, purify of the nerves is
Wow.
attained. Then begins pranayam.
Oh my God. This
Wow.
is amazing. We call it Anulom Vilom,
Yeah,
as
that's
far as I know.
part of pranayam. Yes, absolutely.
And it does make you feel so good. Even we do so much little than what he is saying. And maybe I should try that
That
more.
is why he's Swami Vivekananda.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll continue.
Yes.
Practice is absolutely necessary. You may sit down and listen to me by the hour every day. But if you do not practice, you will not get one step further. It all depends on practice. Absolutely. We never understand these things unless we experience them. We'll have to see and feel them for ourselves. Simply listening to explanations and theories will not do so. There are several obstructions to practice. The first obstruction is an unhealthy body. If the body is not in a fit state, the practice will be obstructed. Therefore, we have to take care of what we eat and drink and what we do. I always use a mental effort, what is usually called Christian science, to keep the body strong. That is all. Nothing further of the body. We must not forget that health is only a means to the end. If health were the end, we would be like animals. Animals rarely become unhealthy.
Man.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Because we put so much effort at this time, even now in the society, in the world, so much effort is put on the physical fitness and how to be, and it's
Mo-
going so beyond that. That's
Most
the
of our,
beginning, he's saying.
absolutely, most of our work and resources are directed towards sustaining us on the physical level. So you
Absolutely.
have new discoveries happening, or the experiments are conducted that there is a way to increase the longevity of human beings. But while you live, what are you doing? What kind of quality of experience is a part of
Right.
your journey is what I think Swami Vivekananda is pointing out. Continue.
Absolutely. The second
The
of
second obstruction is doubt. We always feel doubtful about things we do not see. Man cannot live upon words, however he may try. So doubt comes to us as to whether there is any truth in these things or not. Even the best of us will doubt sometimes. With practice, within a few days, a little glimpse will come, enough to give you encouragement and hope. So here I am kind of deviating, Gitaji, just
Mm.
to remind ourselves.
Mhm.
If we do not practice and we do not have that glimpse, and it is only words and words and words without any experience, then there'll be no hope and encouragement, because we'll feel, oh, people say it, I say it, but actually there's nothing. But we haven't practiced it. That's why that happens.
You feel stuck, I feel, you know,
Hmm.
after some time.
Yeah. So I'll continue. As one commentator on yoga philosophy says, when one proof is realized, however little it may be, that'll give us faith in the whole teaching of yoga. For instance, after the first few months of training and teaching, you will begin to find you can read another's thoughts.
Hmm.
They'll come to you in picture form. Perhaps you will hear something happening at a long distance when you concentrate your mind and try to do so. These glimpses will come just a little bit at first, but enough to give you faith and strength and hope. For instance, if you concentrate your thoughts on the tip of your nose, in a few days you will begin to smell most beautiful fragrance.
Beautiful.
And that'll be enough to show you that there are certain mental perceptions that can be made obvious without the contact of physical objects. But we must always remember that these are only the means, the aim
Hmm.
and end and goal of all this training is liberation of the soul, absolute control of nature, and nothing short of it must be the goal. We must be the masters and not nature. Neither body nor mind must be your master, and neither must we forget that the body is mind and not I. The body is mine and not I the body's.
Uh-huh. So nicely explained. So nicely explained. And I
So,
like it. Every time he's going towards that. This is the means, not the end. That was
so
so true.
either you we can read one more paragraph, or you can. Well, why don't you sing something? And we conclude.
Oh.
Okay.
Hmm. जलती आत्म ज्योति मानव भर अंतर में उजियारा सत्य के पथ पर बढ़ता चल तेरे साथ राम है रखवाला तेरे साथ राम है रखवाला जलती आत्म ज्योति मानव.
क्या बात है! तेरे साथ राम है रखवाला. That assurance comes in this bhajan. And thank you very much for sharing it. And we are reading in sequence Raj Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. Today was the second chapter's first part. So thank you, Geeta ji. Lots of good
धन्यवाद.
wishes, and kindly remind our viewers for
Please click the icon button and subscribe to Herambot Studio.
thanks. Bye.